Hey, what's up guys, MGH here and welcome to a FIFA 17 career mode video. I was at the EA Capture event last Friday. Massive shout out to EA. Very, very nice of them to invite me along to play the game early, and they even provided food and drink. What legends. So basically today guys, in the background we're going to have some gameplay that I captured there on Friday of a West Ham career mode. You can see me putting the team together here. And I'm just gonna ramble on. I want to talk about what I played, what I think about the game in general, and yeah, any questions you've got, just leave your comments below. I'll get through them also in the next few videos. I'm going to be uploading quite a few FIFA 17 videos up until the game comes out, all from the capture event that I was at. And I've got plenty of videos. We've got career mode, we've got ultimate team, we've got pro clubs, we've got my player. Unfortunately, we were not able to play the journey. I wasn't even allowed to touch it, basically. I cannot show you the journey. Obviously, they're trying to make sure that none of the journey gets spoiled for anyone. It's going to be an epic journey, I assure you of that. I've seen actually some leaked gameplay from, I think it was from the beta. And look at me putting Randolph in, by the way. And it was looking really good. So I'm really excited to see how the story progresses as you're playing. But obviously, if people were to upload that early, it would ruin it for some people, so that's why we were not allowed to upload it. But yeah, apologies if this is a really long video. It's going to be completely unscripted. I'm not even going to edit the gameplay. I'm going to skip through the gameplay I've got because I think actually that's quite a good way of doing this, so I can pause it on screen and show you my thoughts while pointing with the mouse, if that makes sense. Right now, by the way, I'm going through instructions, more not to show you what they look like, but to check if there were any new things, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there are any more instructions or anything to change the team's build. It was pretty much exactly the same as previous FIFAs, exactly the same as 16 as far as I could see. But you'll see throughout the menu screens here, there are a couple of new things that they've brought into the game. What a team, by the way. And can I just say, West Ham will be one of the best teams to do a career mode with. With the new stadium, London Stadium, looks absolutely fantastic. But first thing I want to mention, guys, is the menus themselves. I really like the look of the menus. I love the fact that it's kind of darker. I think the bright menus, after a while, look a bit cheap, a bit old, if that makes sense. Here I'm doing some scouting in the Global Transfer Network. Again, just to see if there's anything new, and it doesn't seem like there is. To be honest, career mode, it seems to have an overhaul of visual things, but not necessarily actual features. I found that maybe one or two new tiles in the menu. One of them was to see all the latest transfers, so you can actually go through global transfers and your transfers on an actual tile. So what I mean by tile is something you can actually click in the menu, by the way, in case anyone's confused. That was a nice feature. Also the new financial stuff, so you can check your expenses, your income as well, and also you can check like which players are selling the most shirts. It's really cool. It's a cool feature. They give you objectives. Here's the transfer history stuff. I didn't have anything in it right at this point, but this was the first time playing career mode, so it was all very new to me. But you can see otherwise it is pretty much all the same. One thing that I found that was kind of odd was the contracts. If you look down the wage/week, they've got kind of odd numbers. In FIFA 16, it's like 10k, 25k, 50k, 75k. Here we've got 89,000. 82,000. It seems to be a lot more random, and I kind of liked that. You can sign players for like 72k a week and then upgrade them to 80 and they will join, and it was quite nice. It felt less restrictive. You can see some of the players I've got in the team here. They're out on loan, for example. Obviously I was going to test selling players, buying players, so James Collins was one of the first players I wanted to let go because he was the oldest. Why not? But basically, guys, we're going to go into the finances very soon. You can see some of the emails I get here. You've got to look out for the email where they talk about shirt sales. Here it is. Basically, our goal was to earn £34 million. And that sounds like a lot of money, but it doesn't seem to be a lot of money come towards the end of the first season. You can make that quite easily. Here you can see my objectives. We've already gone through this in a previous video. You get rated basically on critical, high, medium, or low. If something's low, it's not a big issue for the board for them to target you and fire you over it, if that makes sense. But if they give you something that's critical, then you need to make sure you achieve it. Otherwise, they could get pretty mad. But now we're going to jump into the finances. You can see my profit wasn't looking too good right now. My earnings were 4.9 million, but my expenses were 22. 4.9 million of earnings through a transfer I can't remember who it was they sold, because it wasn't a player that I actually sold. It was already done, and then they signed a player for 22 million. I think that was Ayew. Yeah, there you go. Bought for 16.5 million. Hang on, there's another one at the bottom. It's been a few days since I did this. Tompkins was the player they sold, of course, to Crystal Palace. But who was the other transfer? Am I going to go down? Yes, I am. That's the left back. He looks pretty decent, by the way. Musaku, I think his name is. Looks pretty nice. This is the new transfer budget, wage budget menu. Again, you've still got the slider, so you can go up and down and adjust it. And it felt like all of the teams that I used Arsenal, Dortmund, and West Ham on the day. It felt like they had a lot more money than we've had in previous years. It felt like when you draw down on the wages, you get a lot more. I don't know if that's something they've actually done on purpose, but it did feel like I had a lot more money to play around with in this career mode. We're going to do some training. Again, I just wanted to check if there were any new training methods. And as far as I could see, there weren't. Although I do believe there are some new skill games, including like 4-star skills, 5-star skills, and things like that. But I cannot confirm that for you right now. And also, I should mention, guys, that the ratings are potentially not final yet. They're happy with some of them, I'm presuming, you know, especially with career mode, because we've already looked at some of their potentials for the young players, that those are pretty solid. But obviously, in the next few weeks before the game comes out, there's going to be games going on in real life. Maybe they will adjust ratings, but I don't think it's going to be too much different. So for the start of this career mode I was doing with West Ham, I decided to throw in Oxford. He's one of the better young players in the game. I think he can grow by 20, which is just absolutely mental. I think he's literally got a 20 higher potential. I think he's 67, so he can go to 87, which is very impressive. I was going to train Randolph for a bit of fun, but I decided to throw Byram in instead, another young player, and was really impressed with him. To be honest, I was really impressed with West Ham in general. They've got a really nice squad, a lot of young players that I would definitely want to build and use a lot over the seasons. And I'm actually quite tempted to do a West Ham career mode at some point. Maybe I won't even start with Arsenal. I haven't decided yet. But you can see training has pretty much stayed the same there. But now we're going to jump into our first game. We had Bournemouth at home. This was, I think, the second game of the season. We had one against Chelsea, but I wanted to play the home game so I could show you the new London Stadium. And it's absolutely beautiful. Just look at it. One of the reasons that I want to do a West Ham career mode is probably because of the stadium. It just makes it feel fresh and something new. By the way, Frostbite is beautiful. Look at some of these faces. Randolph looks absolutely stunning. I would turn gay for him. I'm just kidding. But the stadium itself looks really good. They would have had to rush this out. I think, because obviously West Ham have taken over this season, they didn't finish decorating it. They didn't finish making it look like their own home until very recently. But EA have done a very nice job. And I love the new cutscenes at the start. They've got the Premier League board at the background. You can see there. The referee comes out and picks up the ball. But just look at some of these faces. There are players that still don't have real faces, but the default faces seem to look a lot better. I don't know if that's just me, but there you can see the lineup I went with. And to be honest, the game didn't go very well for me. It felt very new. This was my first match that I played. And at first, I was playing on Legendary, by the way. On Legendary, that was probably stupid. When the new game comes out, I've noticed over the years, whenever the demo drops, I'm normally awful in my first few games. And there's me. That's me. I'm the manager. You can pick from about 10 managers or so, or 9 managers. And there's Eddie Howe as well. All the Premier League managers are in the game. Oh my God, there's too much stuff on screen right now that I can't slow it down and tell you all about it. So yeah, you see all the official managers. You can pick a manager that you are yourself. And it's a proper HD manager. So you see him reacting on the side of the pitch. And the animations are brilliant. I love this pre-match huddle. Randolph, trying to give it his best, trying to get everyone to play to the best of their ability to beat West Ham. There is Payet, who in the end is incredible in this game. But in general, guys, I think Frostbite is the best thing that's happened to FIFA. The game looks so good. You're going to see as we zoom out to actually play the game. It just looks so good. It looks so much better than previous FIFAs. I mean, the pitch itself, the gradient of the grass. You're going to see in the replays, you can see so much detail. Their shirts ripple a lot better. And the passing, guys. The passing for me was the biggest improvement that I've noticed so far anyway. It feels much more fluid. And I think that is because of Frostbite as well. I feel like the animations are much quicker, much tighter. When you try and turn, the players seem to just react faster. And great tackle from Carroll there, coming back and doing his defensive duty. But Yeah, just look at the stadium, man. Look at that. And Lewis Cook for Bournemouth, incredible. It turns out, actually, when I was playing, I think it was Simon, Mini Minter, who was playing before me. He had it on alternate. So I was on the wrong control settings, but you can see I'm adjusting my camera settings here. I always play on co-op, 2 height, 2 zoom. But it took me a while to realise that I wasn't able to slide tackle or shoot, because whoever played before me, which I think was Simon, he left it on alternate. So yeah, I had to switch it back. But I didn't start off very well in this game. You're going to see I actually do concede very soon, just to give it away a little bit. Bournemouth are a good team, by the way. I'm not too ashamed to say it. But yeah, you can see here I was trying to slide in and I couldn't because I had the wrong button setting. But one thing I want to say, by the way, you probably noticed there when Lewis Cook scored, the nets look a little bit odd to me. They don't look right, and I don't know if they're going to be updating that. But this goal is obviously down to Randolph. He wanted to let Bournemouth have a chance. What a finish, by the way. But you'll see by the nets, they move nicely, but they don't look right from a distance. So I don't know if that's something they're going to change. But a lovely finish from Lewis Cook there. And 1-0 down within 8 minutes, and then this is when I realised that I didn't have the settings correct. You'll probably think I'm lying, but here's proof at least. And I completely forgot how to change them. Obviously I don't do it very often. Once I've done it on my console, it seems to remember it. But when we went to this event, it was Xbox. I'm on PS4, so that was a bit weird at first as well. There you can see it's on alternate. And the consoles, remembered the last person, so I had to change it myself. So we went back onto Classic, and then I started to play a lot better. Another thing as well, guys, is the commentary. I think the commentary was much, much better. I feel like over the years, they haven't done much to it except from add new phrases, but it felt like the commentators really knew what was going on a lot more accurately, I would say. And I really enjoyed that. But actually, normally when I'm playing FIFA, I've got it on mute, and I turn the commentary off because I commentate instead, if that makes sense. But I think it's possible I might actually leave them on this year. I quite like listening to it, although it probably won't work well in videos, especially not because I'm so used to talking instead and not hearing them talk while I am. But you can see here, I'm trying to get back in the game. I was struggling to get used to the controls at first because everything does feel very different. Every time a FIFA comes out, it does feel very different. I love that animation, by the way, Byram trying to get that ball in. But we do get ourselves a corner here, and you're going to see me get a really good chance. This is a chance to show you as well the new corner system. So you actually use that yellow indicator, which you can hide, by the way. You can actually hide it by pressing up on the D-pad. But we come very close to equalising there. I think it was Reed in the end. Oh, look at the graphics. Just look at them. Absolutely fantastic. But free kicks, corners and penalties are very different in this game. Penalties are, I think, going to be quite difficult to get used to. It's probably easier for me to just show you in the video in the next few days instead of explaining it now, but it's much more manual. You have to move the player around, and it's very, very different. However, as you saw with the corners there, the corners are really nice. I like the corners a lot, and actually I found out that you don't have to move it. The default position for the corner is actually pretty perfect, so you can just tap in a corner. But if you want to have a bit more control, you can move that thing yourself and put different amounts of power on it, and it really is very, very good. The free kicks are really nice. You get a new camera angle, so you're behind the ball the whole time until the ball is either out of play or the keeper catches it, and you actually see the ball go over the wall, curl in, and if you score a free kick, I tell you what, the first free kick you score in this game, you're going to absolutely go mad because the camera angle just makes it so much more epic. Anyway, we're into the second half now. Still trying to get used to the game a bit. As you can see, very messy gameplay, but we do get ourselves a chance coming up here. What I found was passing in midfield felt really, really good in this game. It felt like the defence was always drawn and pushed up, and then you were able to really slice through them. And that's exactly what I did here with Antonio, who, by the way, what a player Antonio's been this season. He's top scorer in the league right now with 4, along with Ibrahimovic, I think, and one other player, I can't remember. But his shot comes off the post, and Andy Carroll, who was, I've got to say, a little bit poor. I didn't really like Carroll in this game that I played here against Bournemouth, but he got the goal. I can't complain about that. And finally, that was my first goal in FIFA 17. A tap-in. Yeah, not too exciting. And then I decided to make some changes, and you can see some of the West Ham ratings here. I decided to bring on Valencia, who of course is no longer at West Ham. He will be at Everton next year, or in the game. And I've got Feghouli coming on the right, and I think that was it. And I brought on Obiang as well in the middle. Noble I was impressed with, and I guess I should talk about pace really quick. It felt like this year pace was about the same importance as FIFA 16. So it's not majorly important, especially in career mode, but I will talk about that more when I show you some Ultimate Team stuff. I feel like the slower players felt slow, but it wasn't really hindering them. Players like Cruz, for example, the pace wasn't a big issue, even though it's been downgraded massively. And players like Noble, who aren't very quick, are still very viable. But the game is coming to an end. I guess I should probably wrap up this video. There's going to be plenty more, so make sure you subscribe. And again, I want to say a massive thank you to EA, Kyle and Rob, for inviting me down. It was great to meet all the YouTubers as well. There's a few of them I already met before, but to those who I met for the first time, it was great to meet you, and hopefully we can meet up again sometime soon, maybe for FIFA 18. I can't believe we're already talking about FIFA 18. Maybe I shouldn't mention that. But in general, guys, I'm really impressed with FIFA 17. I think this year is going to be a lot of fun. And I think the Frostbite engine is the main reason for that. There will be more videos where I'm going to discuss it. But that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to bring you some more. Let me know what you want to see. I think the next one I'm going to be talking about... actually, I might do the Arsenal faces. I want to show you some of the faces for Arsenal, because if I do the Arsenal career mode, you need to get familiar with some of the new faces that you're going to see. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video very soon.